Hello, and welcome back to Daily English with Lily and Leo. I'm Lily.
And I'm Leo. And today's topic is one I have been thinking about for the last 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That's a long warm-up.
I have been collecting examples, quietly, like a journalist.
Today, we are talking about being alone, solitude, why some people love it, why some people are scared of it, and what's the actual difference between being alone and being lonely.
And before we go any further, if you're new here, please subscribe. It's free, it takes 2 seconds, and you'll get a new episode every week.
And it really does help us, even one click.
Right. So, let's start with you, because I have a strong feeling you are very comfortable being alone.
I am extremely comfortable being alone. My morning run, every day, it's just me, my shoes, the canal, sometimes a duck.
And you're never lonely on those runs?
No, not even a little. That hour is one of the most important parts of my day. By the time I get home, I have already had a long conversation with myself, solved 2 problems, and changed my mind about something.
That's a lot of activity for one person.
It is. But that's the thing. Being alone doesn't mean being empty. There is a lot going on. It's just internal.
See, this is where I am very different. I love being alone for about 3 hours. After that, I start checking my phone and I notice the silence in a way that feels uncomfortable.
3 hours? That's your limit?
Roughly. After 3 hours, I start feeling like the flat is too quiet. I'll put on a football match just for the noise, even if I'm not watching.
Background humans.
Background humans, exactly. It's not that I want to talk to anyone, I just want to know other people exist.
That's actually a beautiful way to put it. So here's the question. Is that loneliness or is that something else?
I have been asking myself that, and I think the honest answer is it's not loneliness. It's just that I'm wired to be around people. I get my energy from them.
Whereas I get my energy from being alone and I lose it slowly when I'm around people too long.
Even people you like?
Even people I love. After a long day with friends, I am genuinely happy and also genuinely tired. I need quiet to recharge.
Recharge, like a battery.
Like a battery. Some people charge by plugging into other people. Some people charge by unplugging completely.
Okay, so let's actually define this. Alone and lonely. They sound similar, but they're not the same thing at all.
Right. Alone is a fact. You're by yourself. That's it. No emotion attached.
And lonely is a feeling. You can be lonely in a crowded room. You can be perfectly content alone in your kitchen.
Exactly. I have been alone all morning today, and I have not been lonely once.
And I have been in cafes surrounded by people and felt completely cut off. So the 2 things are not the same.
This is why I think we need a better word for good alone. Solitude.
Solitude. That's the word.
Solitude is alone by choice, alone with yourself, alone and content.
Whereas loneliness is wanting connection and not having it.
Yes, very different.
Okay, I want to talk about Tom.
I knew Tom was coming.
Tom still lives in the village. He sits on his porch in the evenings, birds, no sirens, no neighbors within shouting distance, genuinely alone for hours.
And he's not lonely.
He says it's the best part of his day. He has his vinyl, his books, the light over the field. He says the silence is full, not empty. That's exactly how he describes it. Full silence.
Full silence. I love that.
And then on the other hand, he told me once that when he goes into the city for a weekend, he sometimes feels lonelier walking down a busy street than he ever does on his porch.
Because nobody knows him there.
Right. The porch is solitude. The busy city street is loneliness. Same person, very different feelings.
Let me bring in Julia. Remember her solo trip to Japan?
Of course.
She told me the most surprising thing wasn't the food or the temples or even the language. It was how much she enjoyed eating dinner alone in a restaurant.
That's something a lot of people are nervous about.
She said the first night she felt awkward, looked at her phone too much, ordered too quickly. By the 3rd night, she was sitting there for an hour, no phone, just watching the street, and she said it was one of the happiest meals of her life.
She was alone. She was not lonely.
Not at all.
What about Anna?
Anna is an interesting case. She reads English poetry out loud in her flat completely alone, and she says that's some of her favorite time of the week. She is also the person who goes to the open mic every 2 weeks for the company.
So she needs both.
She has built her life so that she has both hours of beautiful solitude and a regular dose of being around people who care about the same things she does.
That sounds healthy.
It sounds very healthy. I think most of us actually need both. The question is whether we know which one we need at any given moment.
Sarah definitely knows what she needs. 6 in the morning, -5 degrees, alone in a forest with binoculars.
Pure solitude, pure choice.
She told me she finds it more restful than any holiday. And then she comes home, has breakfast, and is happy to see people again.
Now, what about modern life? Because I think one of the reasons people are scared of solitude is that we are almost never properly alone anymore.
Interesting, go on.
Think about it. Even when you're physically alone, your phone is in your pocket. Group chats, notifications, someone always one tap away.
That's true.
So we have lost the practice. Real solitude, phone off, no input, just you and your own thoughts, is a skill, and it's a skill we are out of practice with.
That is a very good point. I have been trying to put my phone in another room when I'm in the kitchen, and the first 10 minutes feel weird every time.
Because you're not alone. You're alone with yourself, which is a different thing.
Right. The phone is a person, or 100 people.
And when you remove it, you actually meet yourself, and that can be uncomfortable at first.
But it gets easier.
It gets much easier. The first few minutes, your brain is loud. Then it settles. And once it settles, it's the best feeling.
I want to also be honest about the other side of this, because not all alone is good alone.
Agreed.
There are weeks where I have been working from home, barely seeing anyone, and by Friday I notice I haven't had a real conversation in days. That's not solitude, that's drift.
Drift. Good word.
Solitude is chosen. Drift is what happens when you stop noticing.
And drift is what becomes loneliness if you don't catch it.
Right, so the practical question is, how do you tell the difference?
For me, the test is, at the end of the alone time, do I feel restored or do I feel a bit hollow? Restored is solitude. Hollow is something else.
That's a good check.
And if it's hollow, the answer is not more alone. The answer is to call someone, even just one person.
Even just for 10 minutes.
Even just for 10 minutes. It's amazing how much that fixes.
Okay, can I tell you the most interesting part of my last 2 weeks of thinking about this?
Please.
Biscuit has changed my relationship with being alone.
Of course she has.
I'm not even joking. Before Biscuit, when I was home alone in the evenings, I would have the TV on, the phone in my hand, 3 tabs open, constant input. Now I sit on the sofa, she comes and sits on me, and I just sit with a cat in silence.
And it's enough.
It's more than enough. It's better than the TV. I have been doing it for weeks, and I didn't even notice the change.
That's very sweet, actually. Cat as solitude trainer.
She is also still my alarm clock. Sits on my chest, stares at my face. The moment I open my eyes, she purrs.
The mystery box?
Still sealed. Biscuit is currently asleep on it. We are now well past 2.5 years of that box sitting there unopened.
And the someday jar?
€4.90, up 10 cents this week. I dropped a coin in after a particularly virtuous Tuesday where I made coffee at home.
Virtuous Tuesday.
Biscuit watched the whole transaction. She is a very good supervisor.
Okay, let's pull out our 5 words.
Word 1, solitude. The state of being alone, usually by choice and usually quite peaceful, not the same as loneliness.
I value my morning solitude. That's a perfect example. Solitude is alone, but content.
Word 2, recharge. To rest and get your energy back. Like a phone battery, but for a person.
After a long week, I need a quiet weekend to recharge. We use this all the time about energy and people.
Word 3, crave. To want something very strongly, almost a physical feeling.
After a busy day at work, I crave silence. You can crave food, you can crave rest, you can crave company. It's a strong word.
Word 4, withdraw. To pull yourself away from a situation, especially socially.
When I'm tired, I tend to withdraw from group chats for a few days. That's a healthy use. But you can also withdraw too much, and that's when alone becomes lonely.
And word 5, content. Quietly happy. Not excited, not jumping around, just calmly satisfied.
She was content to spend the evening alone with a book. Content is one of those underrated emotions. Not loud, but really good.
5 words: solitude, recharge, crave, withdraw, content.
Now let's do the grammar. And it comes directly from how we have been talking this whole episode.
Tell me.
I keep saying things like, I have been thinking about this. I've been collecting examples. I have been doing it for weeks.
Present perfect continuous.
Present perfect continuous. Have plus been plus the ing form. And it sits right next to a tense we already know, present perfect simple, and they are very close, but not the same.
Walk me through it.
Present perfect simple is have plus the past participle. I have read 3 books this month. Focus is on the result, the completed thing. 3 books, done.
Present perfect continuous is have been plus ing. I have been reading this book all week. Focuses on the activity itself, the duration, the ongoingness.
Right. Same general time frame, something that started in the past and connects to now, but the lens is different.
Result versus activity.
Result versus activity. So, I have written 10 emails today. Done. 10 emails exist. Result.
I have been writing emails all morning. Ongoing. Maybe still writing them. Maybe just finished. The focus is on the activity, not the count.
And often there's a feeling attached to the continuous one. I have been writing emails all morning, usually carry something. Tiredness, frustration, slight complaint.
So if I want sympathy, I use the continuous.
Exactly.
Give me a couple of pairs to feel the difference.
Okay. I have lived in this flat for 3 years. Present perfect simple. Just a fact.
I have been living in this flat for 3 years. Present perfect continuous. Same fact, but it sounds more personal, more like an ongoing experience.
With state verbs like live, work, study, you can use either. The continuous adds warmth.
Try this one. She has run 5 kilometers.
Done. Result. 5 kilometers exist on her watch.
She has been running for 30 minutes.
Activity. Duration. We don't know the distance. We know the time.
Or, I have read your message. Finished. I read it.
I have been reading your message. Still doing it. Maybe halfway through. Possibly avoiding answering.
That is a real-life situation.
One small warning. There are some verbs we don't use in the continuous form. Verbs like know, believe, understand, want.
You wouldn't say, I have been knowing her for 10 years.
You'd say, I have known her for 10 years. Simple, not continuous.
Same with I have been wanting. Generally avoided. Use I have wanted instead.
The rule of thumb, actions can be continuous. Mental states usually can't.
Got it. So let's do a quick mini dialogue.
Okay, you start.
Hey, what have you been doing?
I have been reading this book about solitude. I've read about 100 pages so far.
Ah, nice. See what we did? Have been reading for the activity, have read for the count.
Exactly. Both true, both about the same book, but the focus is different.
This is one of those grammar points that completely changes how you sound in English. Once you have it, you never want to go back.
And the small motivation moment?
Go on.
What I want to leave you with this week is this. Being able to enjoy your own company is a real skill. And like every skill on this podcast, it gets better with practice.
5 minutes alone, no phone, just sitting with a cup of tea is a real practice.
And it's harder than it sounds the first few times. Your brain will resist. That's normal.
But you don't need to fix it. You just need to sit through it. And the next day, sit through it a little longer.
1% every day.
Exactly. Just 1%.
And here's the thing about pizza before we go.
How are we getting back to pizza?
Because eating cold pizza alone in your kitchen at 8 in the morning with a cup of tea while it's raining outside is one of the great solitary pleasures of life.
No. Pizza is dinner food.
Pizza is for the evening, around friends, after a match. Pizza for breakfast is a small, cheesy tragedy.
Solitary cold breakfast pizza is content with a capital C.
Listeners, we are still asking you to vote in the comments. Breakfast pizza or dinner pizza? Settle this for us.
And while you're there, tell us, are you a person who craves solitude, or do you recharge by being around people? Both are completely valid.
And try today's grammar in your comment. I have been learning English for, however long, or I have learned 5 new words this week. Use either. Use both.
We read every single comment, even the short ones.
Especially the short ones.
Thank you for spending 15 minutes with us. If this episode helped, please share it with one friend.
Subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you next week.
Until then, enjoy a little solitude.
And maybe a slice of pizza. Dinner pizza.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.